Welcome to CaseWare Quick Vids. This quick vid demonstrates working in the Financial Statement Areas worksheet in CaseWare Audit. This quick vid will cover a summary of the Financial Statement Areas worksheet, as well as configuring and generating the FSA worksheet, adding and inserting business cycles, defining levels of risk and defining audit responses, adding working papers references, and inserting new items into the FSA worksheet. For this demonstration, Audit International will be used. Please note that the concepts for completing the Financial Statement Areas worksheet are the same for all jurisdictions, however naming conventions and certain features may differ. The Financial Statement Areas worksheet, or FSA worksheet as it will be referred to from here on, is used to identify significant accounts, financial disclosures, and particularly sensitive areas within the engagement. As an audit tool, the FSA worksheet accumulates all of the financial statement areas for an engagement in a central location where various properties can be associated. When working in the FSA worksheet, you can generate the worksheet by the desired grouping options, ensure that any line items with amounts above materiality or performance materiality at the financial statement level are automatically checked, create business cycles where required, assign business cycles to each financial statement area, specify risks and audit response by assertion, reference each process to the assessment of internal control and relevant work program where the risk is addressed, and insert titles, totals, and new FSA items as required for the engagement. First, we will go through the steps of configuring and generating the Financial Statement Areas worksheet. From the Document Manager, open the FSA worksheet. It is located in the Identify Financial Statement Assertions and Underlying Business Process subfolder of the Risk Assessment folder. The worksheet opens and displays with various columns seen here. These include group numbers, account descriptions, balances, materiality assessments, assertions, business cycles, risks, audit response columns, and reference columns for working papers and risks. The columns that displayed are based on selections from the Areas menu. In the majority of cases, the FSA will be pre-generated by your firm and you do not need to regenerate it. You do, however, have the option to reconfigure and regenerate the Financial Statement Areas worksheet if needed. Regenerating the worksheet clears all changes, including all selections and references made within the worksheet. This should only be done prior to any audit work being done, and if you are using a different grouping or mapping. Once you've started planning the audit and have received your planning trial balance, use the refresh to update the planning balance column and materiality assessments. If you have determined that the FSA needs to be regenerated, or if you are the firm author, to change the predefined configuration options, click on the Configure button. In the Configure Options area, select the desired option from the drop-down list based on the design of your engagement. There are several options to consider. All options are applied when the FSA worksheet is regenerated, but only a few of these are applied when the worksheet is refreshed. The refresh options include the Planning, Round To, and Sort by Column options. Use the Planning option to select the planning balance on which the Material Financial Statement Areas assessment is made, based on preliminary materiality. In the Round To drop-down, select the rounding to use for the financial statement balances. Set the sort column and sorting order of the report by specifying the Sort by Call settings. The remaining options only apply when regenerating the worksheet. Choose whether you would like to include items with zero balance amounts, select the mapping and grouping used in the engagement file, and if you want to restrict the report further, select Include From and Include To, which displays only a portion of the group structure. Select the level of detail the accounts will display using the Mask Level drop-down. The Mapping Mask filter is useful where you do not want the the detail of all accounts below the main account you are interested in. For example, you may want to go to a mask level that includes the main grouping, property, plant, and equipment, but not all the detailed subgrouping numbers beneath it. If you are unsure of your full mapping mask, double-click the drop-down and the Options dialog appears where you can further specify mask levels. Once completed, from the Document menu, click Generate, or simply click the Generate button. In the Warning dialog, click Yes. The worksheet populates the group number, the description of the group number, financial balances, materiality, and so on. After generating the worksheet, one of the first things to consider is the materiality set for the engagement. This is defined in the Materiality worksheet and is presented at the top of the FSA worksheet. If the planning balance of the FSA is greater than the preliminary materiality threshold set when completing the Materiality worksheet, a checkbox is automatically added to the FSA in the Overall or Performance Materiality columns, indicating that this area should be addressed. Similarly, the final balance is compared against the final materiality. For any line item, if any of the Overall or Performance Materiality columns are checked, the Materiality Assessment checkbox for that item will be checked automatically. Looking at my raw materials line, the planning balance exceeds the preliminary performance materiality, therefore it is material. Hovering over the checkbox will show how this was derived. Reviewing each item, if it has automatically been selected to appear as material, you are able to manually remove the checkbox from the Materiality Assessment column like so. Similarly, if an account is not set to be material, you are able to select it as material using the checkbox. In either case, a red dot appears indicating a manual override change to the materiality has been made. Only this materiality column can be modified. Where the list of business cycles does not meet your needs, you can add or delete business cycles used by the worksheet. You can insert a business cycle to the relevant row item by clicking on the green plus sign within the business cycle column. I will do this for my raw materials. In the Business Cycle dialog, select the checkbox or checkboxes for the cycle that you want to insert, then click OK. The abbreviation appears in the column. You can also insert a business cycle using the Cycles area. Open the Cycles area in the top frame by clicking the Cycles button. Notice the cycles Financial Reporting, Revenue Receivables Receipts, and Purchases Payable Payments are available. To add a new cycle, click Add. Provide the new process with a name and an abbreviation. I will call mine Payroll and will give it the abbreviation Pay. Click OK. The drop-down menu now displays 4 business cycles. Next, expanding the group number allows you to specify the assessed level of risks by assertions as high, medium, or low. And based on the assessed risks, indicate the audit responses by selecting the relevant checkboxes. Furthermore, you can provide a summary of the reasoning for the assessed level of risk and explain the audit response to the area using the manual input fields. The template author can define the types of risk, audit responses, and their types of scoring within the General Options document in the master template. To add working paper references to an item, click on the plus button in the Working Papers reference column. This will bring up the Annotation dialog where you can select the reference to insert. This step is usually completed by the firm author. I will choose Inventories Raw Materials. Click OK. You can add more than one reference if required. Adding a reference to the work program will link that work program to the FSA. This will result in enhanced automation within your file. For example, you can populate your audit response table with your overall risk assessment per financial statement area, remove procedures from the work program for assertions not required, view risks addressed in the work program within the FSA, and delete all the documents referenced to an immaterial FSA through the optimizer. To insert a title, right-click on a line and select Titles, Insert New Title. This can be used where you may want to better organize your financial statement areas. For example, you may want to include the titles of the financial statements such as assets or liabilities. To insert a subtotal, right-click on any line and select Totals, Insert New Subtotal. Provide a name and then select the FSAs that make up the subtotal. Use the Insert New Total to total any created subtotals. To insert a new FSA item not included in the grouping, right-click on a line and select Insert New Item. This can be used where you may not want to document sensitive items that are not specified through the generation of amounts from the trial balance. For example, you may be specifically concerned about related parties, so you can manually add this as an item to consider. Provide a name for the new item and complete the line. Before concluding, we want to remind you of the following notes. During the course of the audit on the engagement, there may be adjusting journal entries posted that will modify the balance of the accounts automatically. The balance is continually updated to the current trial balance amounts and is displayed in the final balance column. To update the planning balance column in the FSA, select the Refresh button. Note that you should use the Refresh button only when you want to change the planning balances, for example, when a new trial balance is provided by the client. If the worksheet is regenerated, all details entered related to each financial statement assertion will be deleted. Finally, this quick vid has only covered some of the areas in the Financial Statement Areas worksheet. For a complete list of worksheet columns, please refer to the online help. This concludes the quick vid on the Financial Statement Areas worksheet in CaseWare Audit. For additional resources, including documentation and online help, see the related links in the video description. Thank you for watching CaseWare Quick Vids.